So we just finished recording episode number 18 of Festool Shop Talk with Scott Couch from Get Off the Couch. Amazing 45-minute chat. Stay tuned. Give it an awesome listen. Thanks. Woo! Everybody, this is Shop Talk number 18. This in the split frame is Scott Couch. You might know him from Instagram from Get Off the Couch, which I think is a great tag. Oh my God! When I first started seeing that, I was like, Get Off the Couch, man! What a great way to get people motivated. And then I find out your last name is Couch.
That's it.
So cool. You can find Scott at YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay. Wow. When's the last time I saw you? What, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, a month ago?
I think about that. Yeah, less than a month ago.
Yeah, that's when I first met you too, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
That was so cool, man. I want to thank you for coming down to Austin for that. That was awesome.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was awesome to be there. It's a great group of people, and I got to hear that you're a Celtics fan.
Oh, dude. When you showed me your ink, I was like, what? That was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Great story behind that. Hey,
sure.
And we're in the finals, huh?
That's it. Oh, yeah.
It was funny. You texted me the other night or messaged me the other night, and I was just so exhausted. I went to bed. Then I woke up and I went, oh, we're in the finals. Woo, baby. Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. And they beat the Heat.
Yep. Perfect. It was exciting.
Because the only time I lived in Miami for 25 years, and anytime I went to see the Heat, it's when the Celts were in town. And it's the last time I got to see Larry Bird play was in Miami, Heat Arena.
Nice.
It was awesome.
That must be cool to see him play.
Oh, my God. It was really cool. I was with my son at the time. He was young. And everybody started moseying out a little bit early, which was really weird. So I took it. We had such bleeds. I mean, wicked nosebleed seats. And I took him down to the lower level afterwards. And we kind of stuck by a few ushers. And we were like, oh, my God, look at the size of these guys.
Oh, yeah. I sat courtside one time. It's amazing how big they are. Oh. Monstrous.
Even the small guys are monsters.
The small guys, they look small on the court, but they're bigger than you and I.
Woo, for sure. Oh,
my
God. I can't believe it. And the legend gave such a show. It was ridiculous.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Oh, my God. You could see him talking trash down there, too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know he was, too.
Oh, you know he was. He's the best trash talker ever.
Yeah.
Watch some of the videos out there when some of the greats are talking about his trash talk. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's awesome.
Sure.
He used to say, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put it up right in your face and make a three-pointer to win the game.
Yep.
And I think it's Dominic Wilkins who said on YouTube, he said, and that's exactly what he did to me.
Yep, and I've heard it from multiple different people, too.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, how did you become a Celtics fan? You're in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm in upstate New York. I like all New York teams other than the Celtics. And my brother and I think when we were younger, we just had a Celtics jersey and we loved that like clover on it. And just ever since, I've always just been a Celtics fan. Holy
moly. I grew up in Maine and a diehard Red Sox fan, Celtics fan, Bruins fan. But everybody thinks I'm a Pats fan. And the same thing. When I was in grade school, I really liked the Raiders logo. They were in Oakland then. And I've been a diehard Oakland Raider fan. Now, then Los Angeles, then Oakland, and now Las Vegas. It's pretty wild.
There you go, sticking with them. At least you're not a Patriots fan. I'm a Jets fan, so.
Yeah. Here in Indianapolis, they're still known as the Cheatriots.
Oh, yep. That's what we call them around here, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is so cool having you, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I've been, everybody knows you from Get Off the Couch. But how did you get started in all of this, and how long you been doing it?
So kind of like a lot of people get into it, I got a house, we needed some furniture, and so I think it was in like 2017. My wife was asking for a table, and I was like, let me look into it. Started asking around, and I ended up talking to a local shop around here, and he gave me some prices, and I was like, how about I come and learn how to build one with you? And I started working in his shop,
Uh,
and I worked there 1 to 2 days a week after my day job, and just started slowly learning, doing stuff there. And then I eventually started buying tools for my own house and slowly outfitting my own shop, and then broke away from there. And it's only been 5 years since I started, and I just finished the table for my wife.
Holy moly!
Yep. I've made many
My
tables, but finally just made one for the house.
That is so cool. Hey, got a quick question.
Sure.
What do you do for a day job?
So I work for 3M doing healthcare data development.
That is so
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, that's
Hey, so do you know how similar this is to me? I started because I think a lot of people now know that I was a cabinet maker in Fort Lauderdale, and
hmm
That's where Festool hired me. But what people don't know is I was in the restaurant business at one time in my life, and Marianne, my wife, needed a coffee table.
There you go.
And she knows my background growing up woodworking my whole life and with my father, my grandfathers. And she goes, "You know how to build that?" I was kind of almost forced into it, but I built it, and then it progressed from there.
Yep.
So eventually I kind of moved on, but that's kind of neat. That's really
Sure.
cool.
Sure. Yeah. It seems like
Yeah,
people get into a house or wherever and they're like, I need furniture. And you either want to try and figure it out. And then next thing you know, you're off on a
man.
journey.
And you're cranking it, and you do signs, huh?
Yep. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of signs. So I actually made a Barcelona sign for like somebody local around here, a friend. And
Yeah.
what Barcelona shared it on their page, and they have like I think like 4.9 million or something like that. So it got
Oh,
crazy views, and then it just kind of opened up the shop to make more signs.
yeah. And people just reach out to you? How? Social
Yep,
media
yeah,
or?
yep, yeah. I get a lot of people reaching out just through Instagram, asking,
Huh.
hey, can you make this team or that team, and then we go from there.
That sounds so like Derek from Malden.
Yep. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that. A lot of people reach out to him that way too, and boy, he's become really successful.
Oh
And
yeah.
now he's on
Yeah.
the now. Yeah,
He makes some real
making
cool
cool.
ones with just all epoxy too.
Yeah, you have a. Do you have in your shop a CNC?
I do. Well, it's technically in my basement. So my shop is quite
Oh,
small,
okay.
so I'm spread out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
So you have it. You're in. If I remember looking at your Instagram, you're in a one car garage,
Yep.
two
Yeah,
car
I got a
garage.
1 car garage, and then there's like a little added on, like 4 foot. I think it's like 6 feet wide section that goes the length of the garage, and that's all I got to work with. So I've got my CNC, and I do like all my epoxy pouring and all that down in my basement.
Wow, man, boy, but you make it happen, huh?
Got to do what I got to
Yeah.
do, man. You know.
Man, I was boy just looking at your shop in the garage, and I was like, you remind me of one of my shops one time where I had to walk around everything almost in a
Yep.
snake pattern just to get around machinery. But you have to do what you have to do when you're getting started like that.
Yep, that's exactly it. I call it my milling hallway because I have my jointer, planer, and drum sander in there, and they're all offset one side or the other so that I can weave through.
But that's cool, man. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there listening, thinking, you know what, I can do that too, right?
Oh
You just
yeah,
got to make it happen, and next thing you know, how many followers you got on Instagram? That blew me away.
I'm
You get
almost to 100,000. I'm getting close.
Wow, man. Do a lot of
Get-
people reach out for advice and stuff?
They used to a lot. Recently, not as much, but yeah, I used to get a ton. I get a lot of questions about epoxy, what epoxy I use, what
Yeah.
type of they should use, and how to make it not bleeding. Those are like the three main questions I get.
Oh, no kidding. What
Yep.
brand epoxy you use?
Total Boat. Yep.
Cool,
I use all
cool.
Total Boat, and depending on what I'm doing, which I'll use different types of epoxy, like their 2-to-1 or their thick set or the deep pour.
Yeah. Boy, Jess has her own brand of a total boat, doesn't she? Jess
She
Cross.
does. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. I use
Wow.
hers sometimes too.
Yeah, we call her. I call it the epoxy queen. I think it's sticking.
I
She's
think that's
unbelievable.
a solid nickname there for her.
Yeah. I always go, hey, what's up? Hashtag epoxy queen. How you doing? She's great. She's been on Shop Talk too. She was supposed to make it in for a Festool Live, but her flights got all discombobulated. That's
Oh,
how
that would be
stuff
cool.
works. Man,
Yep.
next time you're in
Especially
Indiana,
now.
oh my God, the flights are crazy, dude.
Crazy. Oh
I'm trying
yeah.
to. Okay, so I'll do a little shop talk for Festool. I'm booking a flight because we're going out to Portland, Oregon,
Okay.
and I cannot believe the cost of these flights. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. Instead of like a $500 ticket, it's like $3,000.
Yeah,
Is
and
that crazy?
then you're getting stuck on them forever because like
Oh,
they can't unload things or they don't have staff or yep.
wow. And
It's
I
crazy.
thought, okay, time for a road trip. But then
Oh,
I
there you
thought,
go.
well,
How
I
long is
looked
it?
at it, 33 hours from our
Oh,
headquarters.
yeah,
But
that's
it's going to be really cool. We're going to be at a place called Woodcrafters. I think it's on the 24th. We're going to do a Festool Live there, and it's going to be a big to do. We're
very
pretty
cool.
excited. Yeah,
Nice. I've
I'm
never been to a
excited.
woodcraft.
Well, no, this is different. This isn't a woodcraft. It's actually
Oh,
it's
okay.
called yeah. It always gets mixed up. It's called Woodcrafters,
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
I've known the owner for about almost 16 years, and just the nicest dude in the world.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, it's kind of neat because we started Festool Live here, corporate, but now we're going to venture out. We're going to do one in Canada and one in Ohio and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Okay, so I got a question. We were eyeballing Big D in your shop, and you got some Festool in there, don't you?
Of course. Of course I do.
Okay, so I got a question for you. What was your first Festool tool?
My first personal Festool was sander. I got I think it's a ETS EC
Oh, cool.
125. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
cool,
my
man.
first one. So the shop that I worked in, he got a Festool sander, and I had like a little DeWalt one here in my shop. And as soon as I used
Yeah.
his, I was like, all right, I need to get something better here.
That's
It
cool.
makes a world of difference.
You know what? When my first Festool was a track saw, but back then it was the ATF. And I said, "What's so special about these Festool sanders?" I owned every brand, or I've used every or owned every brand, and I was just
Uh
like, "You got
huh.
to be kidding me!" And I bought an ETS 125 back then, and I used it for about 2 hours, and I went, "Man, my hand isn't buzzing." And then I
Yep.
realized it's built in there, vibration stop, and I was like, "Man, I was sold." So I had to get a job at Festool to get more Festool.
Well played.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Yeah,
Not bad.
that's a solid
That's
way to
so
do it.
Hey, I also see you have a track saw.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Which one?
That
Which
was
one?
my second one. I have the 55 TS 55.
Cool, cool,
Yep.
man. Yeah, I when I bought my first Festool, it was the ATF 55, and I never looked back. It's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Pretty
would never.
awesome.
I love that thing. I use it all the time. When I was doing a lot of those signs, I just glue up a bunch of panels and I just bust that out, cut them square with it, and it makes world of easy. So easy.
That's so cool. Hey, I got a question, and I always love asking. This is one of those common questions I always ask on Shop Talk. In the woodworking, who is your biggest influence?
I'd have to say my dad. Growing up, my dad was a cabinet
Oh,
maker. He owned his own shop for 25 years, and then he threw out his back, or then he went and worked at a different thing, ended up throwing out his back or whatever. So he doesn't do too much anymore, but I always loved going to his shop as a kid, going there, building my Pinewood Derby cars, things like that. And then seeing like my mom worked from home growing up and he would build her desks and things like that. And I did all the furniture in my sister's room and just seeing all that stuff always made me want to be able to do stuff like that. So
yeah,
one,
that I guess being raised in that, right?
oh, sure. Yep. And then once I
Yeah,
finally got some space of my own, went to town.
It's just so funny because my wife saw my background with my folks, but also hearing about my grandfather and seeing pictures of me when I was 7 in my grandfather's shop using hand planes and stuff like that. And so
Uh-huh.
when that came up, we needed a cocktail. She goes, "You can do that."
Oh
And it's
yeah.
just I always like to see where people are in their shops and stuff. And for me, it's always who that influence is. And you mentioned something earlier. I want to get back to it because that was pretty cool. You had somebody, you went and priced something out and you said, "Hey, help me build it."
Mm-hmm.
That shop you went into.
Yep.
Who was that person that let you do that?
So it's actually he's on Instagram. It's Urban Industrial Design. It's a local buddy of mine. He worked in a day job for a while, and then I think he started out because he needed some furniture too in his house, and then he started just making furniture on his off hours, and then next thing you know, he runs a furniture business now. So in his like early years, he needed some help. He was kind of at the point where he needed some help. So it kind of worked
Yeah,
out for me where I was able to go in and help him do all the things he needed to do and learn, and obviously use bigger machinery and things like that too. So it's very cool.
that's a good dude, man, to let you
Yep.
do that. I
Yep.
had
I was just
yeah,
gonna say I actually remember when he first got a track saw and him being like, "Hey, I got this Festool track saw." And I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And then going there and trying it out and being like, "Wow, this is amazing. No more clamping a level and riding a circular saw against the level."
yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know?
I've been there, done it. I have that clamp it tool guide thing that I used to run my old Craftsman circular saw against.
Oh, sure.
And
Yep.
hey, it got me where I was, and then I made a shooting board for it. And I
That's
saw
it. You got
this
to start somewhere.
I saw this track saw at the local marine store, and I was just like, "What the heck is this?" And I saw how it was guided, but they didn't even know what they were doing. They were cutting cross grain on veneer plywood and pulling it away and showing me the splinter free cut.
Uh
I
huh.
was blown away, and they didn't know what. They go, "Isn't it cool? It works on a track." And I was just like, "No, look at the quality of cut. It's
Right.
amazing."
Right.
Yeah, to this day, it's still my favorite tool. I don't care. Everybody thinks the domino is and this and that. No, that's my favorite tool. It's just amazing. Okay, I digress. I digress. So I think I know the answer to this one, but I want to ask you this one, Scott. In woodworking, what are your biggest struggles right now?
So right now it's finding time. So
Oh,
I work a full-time
oh,
job, and then I've got my 3 kids, my wife, and obviously they're my priority. So the way
yeah.
I the way my time works now is I kind of put my kids on the bus, come out here for an hour and a half or so, go to the day job, work there. Luckily, I work from home, so then I can come out on my lunch break and take a half hour, an hour out here and do whatever I got to do, and then put the kids to bed and be back out here again after that.
That
So,
is awesome. That's a better answer than I thought the one you were going to say.
so what did you think I was going to say?
I hope the missus and those children are listening.
So what did you think I was going to say?
Your shop side.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that is the thing too.
but but you have your priorities straight. It's always about the family, right?
That's it. I mean,
Always,
I, t-
always.
I tell my wife all the time, if it wasn't for the family, I'd quit the day job and just figure it out doing this. But having that steady
Yeah.
income for the family is it's quite key.
It's for me. It's not only the steady, but it's also the insurance and all of it, right?
Oh yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
it's funny because just recently I have my 3 car garage, where I call it 3 saw garage at home, and I hate moving stuff around.
Uh huh.
So what's funny is I just bought a shed to throw all my lawn and garden stuff in there. But I was thinking when I saw your shop online, I'm like, oh my God, he needs a bigger shop.
Oh,
Oh, but
for sure.
I will tell you I've been there, and it's just
Yep.
really good. It's enlightening to hear your priorities are straight. Hey,
So
do
it's
the kids ever come out to the shop with you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, not all the time, but they more like going into the basement and pouring epoxy. If I ever go down to the
Oh,
basement, and plus it's a lot easier for them if they see me go down to the basement, they're like, "What are you doing?" and come down there, and
yeah.
they like to either watch the CNC run or pour epoxy.
Oh.
My
Yeah,
kids,
birds.
my brother just took them on a walk through the woods recently, and my nephew and my daughter collected a bunch of stuff, and then we poured it all in epoxy, and we're gonna make a little tray for them out of it.
Dude, how old are your kids, if you mind me asking?
11, 6, and 3.
Okay, so you're gonna freak out what they remember over the years. What you're doing now, when they get older, they'll always remember it. And the best part about it is when you don't think they're listening, they're listening. And then
Uh-huh.
as they get older, they start seeing something on television with all their buddies are in the room, and they go, "Yeah, I remember when he showed me how to do that." And they go through the steps, and you kind of like going, "Oh my God, they were listening," right?
Uh-huh.
Those memories that are being created now, it's amazing. Well, when you're a father shop, right, growing up,
Oh, sure. Yep. Oh, yeah. I
yeah,
remember vividly going there as a kid and the things that he taught me and just using those big tools and thinking it was so cool to be able to, make my own Pinewood
yeah,
Derby car.
yeah, for sure. That's a big thing
Yeah.
in here in Indianapolis is the Pinewood Derby cats. They got a
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I just saw a recent thing where they were having the races, and I was like, wow, that's cool. I never got involved with it. Hey, were you in the Boy Scouts?
I was. Yep.
That's big in the Boy Scouts, isn't it? Pinewood
Yep.
Derby
Yep.
cats.
Yep. That's where we did
Yeah,
it.
my oldest brother Skip did that, and he was big in Pinewood Derby, and Dad and him would make Pinewood Derby cats. For sure. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I got to tell you, when you were talking about getting a shed recently and putting your tools out or your yard tools out there, I just
Yeah.
at the end of last summer, that's how I got opened up the other alleyway in my shop here. I bought a shed and
Oh,
threw all the kids' bikes and all the
oh
yard
yeah.
tools and everything out there. And so, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to have half the stuff in here that I do.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm glad I brought it up. Okay, a quick question. What size shed did you get?
I think it's an 8x10, if I remember right.
Yes, I just got an 8 by 12. It's being delivered in 2 weeks.
Oh,
I live a
nice.
I live in an HOA and they just approved it so last night.
Okay.
So I'm pretty stoked. I'm gonna go
I
get
just
it in a couple of days.
I just snuck mine in the back.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I almost did that, but our friend who works with my wife, Marianne, he sits on the
Uh-huh.
board, and he's just a nice guy. They say 30 to 60 days for approval. He goes, tell Brian to put it online, and I'll get it approved in 30 to 60 hours. He approved it within 12
Oh,
hours,
there
so
you
it's
go.
pretty cool.
May as well
Yeah.
go the right channels then.
Oh yeah, but the thing is I don't like moving stuff, and I was just moving the wheelbarrow and the mower and all the. The thing is I think I have the room, but I wanted more room, and
You can never have
I
enough.
I know, but I just wanted to stop moving stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to be rebuilding some stuff with Festool in there, and I'm going to reorganize my Festool in there because some of the stuff, the cabinets are older, so.
Yep.
I can't stop working, whether I'm here or at home.
I
I
hear
think
that.
Festool for me has changed everything. The thing I hate though is sometimes we discontinue stuff, and at home I can't work without that Vaxis. That's amazing. Oh, I just dropped Vaxis. Oh, I can't wait to see the comments on that. Oh my God, I love that thing. Okay, I got to stop. Hey, here's another question too. So you started this in your woodworking about 2017, 2018, right?
Yep.
Hey, um, what happened to you in the business when the pandemic hit? And I can't believe I had to change my notes on here. I used to say in 2020. Now I say in the last 2.5 years. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
really. I didn't think it would. Well, I always think it's going to be over, and at this point, I don't know if it's ever going to be over.
Hey, on your day job, did you always work from home, or did that change to work from home when you?
No, so that actually helped me out. So I used to go in the office, and it was a 45-minute commute about. So I
Mm-hmm.
barely had much shop time. It was basically on the weekends then. But
Yeah.
then when the pandemic hit, we were home, and just within the last like 3 months, we got offered the option to either work hybrid, go in the office, or work from home. And I chose to work from home because it's working out so well with me being able to get some more time in the shop and be home for the family more because they used
Yeah.
to be waiting for me to get home to eat dinner or eat dinner before I got home because the kids were starving. So it's nice to be able to just be able to shut my computer and be there.
Yeah, it changed quite a few things here at Festool.
Yep.
I was always in here. I'd have a training class, say Monday, Tuesday, twice a week, or once a
Uh-huh.
week, and then do some other stuff. And then it hit, and I was like, "What do I do now?" Right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
our warehouse and repair never shut down, but it was weird. A lot of people um, could work from home. Different departments can work from home,
Sure.
and now I guess we're in a what is it, Big D? A hybrid where some people I'm here all the time. I
Yep.
don't know. I guess that Marianne says it's my second home, but it's we're everybody works all week long, but sometimes a day here and day here where we go and work from home. And I'll tell you what, I sometimes working from home, I work too hard there,
Yep. Yep.
right?
It's so easy
You
to just
know?
like for me, I'll go walk in the office and open my computer, log in real quick and do a few things and it's so easy to do it when you work from home and I think that also helps me get the freedom to do this. So if I'm out here for an extra 20 minutes, I know that later at night I can log on to work and work for an extra 20 minutes or whatnot.
Oh, for sure, for
Yep.
sure, it's cool. I
But
it's the whole dynamics changed. There's so
sure.
much being done online. Like here's one of the things Festival Shop Talk came about because of the pandemic. And
Sweet.
Festool Live. But it's cool. I
Sure.
really like this because we're hitting. I don't know how many people we got online right now, but it's amazing. Think about it. It's 12 o'clock, or now it's oh my god, it's 12:30 already. I'm taking up a lot of your time.
No,
It's it's crazy, but you're in New York. We're here, and I just think this is great, and I love doing podcasts. They're awesome.
oh,
They're
sure.
so much fun. And we did the
It,
we did the festival live with you from Austin too.
yep.
That was some
Yep.
fun.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's what the pandemic has definitely had its downfalls, but there is a lot of good that's came out of it too.
yeah. I call it the silver linings of the pandemic,
Sure.
and
Yep.
I don't know if that's good to say or not, but um, it brought a lot of people closer together, I think, and made
Hmm.
people really realize what life is all about. Not to get too philosophical, but I
I
mean,
agree.
family's been number one in my life, my whole life, and it just brought a lot of people together. Okay, so I got a quick
Sure.
question for you. Where do you see yourself, your future growth? What are your expectations? Let's just take you 5 years out. Where do you think you're going to be?
I hope to have a bigger shop and be in it more often.
Good answer.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's kind of essential right now. You would laugh if you saw just what's directly behind my phone here. There's a laser like 2 feet away because I don't have room for anything. But yeah, I hope to eventually take this full time. Like I said, right now, while the kids are all young, I want to just stay at the full time job where it's
Yes.
steady, got benefits, and nice
Yep.
options there. But eventually, like right now, my wife's kind of in a transition with her job, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe you could just come home and you could start the business and slowly turn it into something more. So we're
Yep.
toying with that idea, but we don't know. We're kind of just taking it day by day and see what happens with the kids and where we go.
Cool. Cool. That's cool. Hey,
Yeah, we.
I don't know if this is too personal, but I want to ask you a question. Can you hold up your arm and show everybody your rink? Because that's the coolest thing ever. Okay.
Oh, you gotta. Can't see the
Yeah.
Celtics. There it is.
There it is. So if somebody's listening to the podcast, you got to go to YouTube to see this. So describe how that came about.
My
You
sleeve.
told me, yeah,
Uh,
our the Celtics and the
yeah.
boxer.
So my whole tattoo sleeve is all about my family. This whole upper part is all for like there's something on there for each one of my siblings, my parents, my grandparents, and then down here is my kids and stuff. And I had a boxer that was named Rondo after Rajon Rondo that played for the Celtics.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
baby.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so
And
awesome.
Rondo is an amazing dog, and when he eventually got some neurological issue, and I had to put him down. So I got a pair of boxing gloves. It's so hard to show it, but a pair of
Yeah,
boxing gloves with the Celtics logo and Rondo's name on it for him.
I just I love that when you showed that to me. and we were at I forget Lake Travis or wherever out in Austin, and that was so cool. I just went, now that's a good story. I knew you were going to be on Festool Shop Talk. I just knew it. That's so
Hey,
really cool.
that lake was beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, so I had been out there. You heard me. I was negotiating with Alan to go somewhere else that day, right?
Yep,
I had
yep.
been out there so many times with Alan and everybody from Rubio and
Uh-huh.
everybody's had a great time there.
Sure.
But it's a lot of the times it's been overcast. That was the best sunset ever I had seen out
Really.
there,
It was
and
beautiful.
we were all together in that little corner up on the
Yep.
top deck. That's the first time everybody was together. It was just so cool. That was one of the best memories at that lake. It was fun.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
And
Somebody put a nice video where you could see everybody hanging out there and
yeah,
the sun setting in the background and everything. Yeah,
yeah.
that was awesome.
And what you guys built over 2 days. Every time I do that, Scott, I'm just like, I look at Alan, ain't gonna happen, dude. There's too much warp in those boards. This ain't gonna happen. Off to the
Uh-huh.
side, right? Then
I
all
mean,
of a sudden it comes together. And I
yep.
am so blown away at everybody working together the way they worked.
Hey,
And
I'm blown away by that perfect miter that we got with those cupped and warped boards.
it was unbelievable. I walked away a couple times. I go, hey, I got it. And I coach everybody who's kind of on the Rubio and my team. Don't tell them what to do. Just you have
Uh-huh.
to stay away. They're the craftspeople. Because if you make the mistake, woo! Jokingly, you want them to go through the struggle, and that's what makes it perfect in my eye.
Oh,
And
sure.
the whole thing, the auction went well, and everything. It was nice.
That's how you get people working together too, like that. Just throw them in a situation and let them figure it out, and then that's how you get that good collaboration and teamwork.
Oh, it was great, and the people I met were phenomenal. I met you. I mean, I had followed you before, but I get to hang out with you, and
Yep,
that's
it
the
was
best
awesome to
part of it.
finally meet a bunch of the people I've talked to and never actually met. So it was nice to meet people there and actually get a connection real life.
Yeah, and then I find out you were at Workbench Con, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even get a chance to talk to you there. It was so
Yep.
crazy busy.
Yeah, it's just a
You
whirlwind. At
it is.
Workbench Con, just you're pulled in a
Oh,
million different directions for 3 days.
it's amazing. It's
Yep.
absolutely amazing. But that was a fun time too.
Oh, sure,
Okay,
sure. That was great.
I'm going to ask you one more question because I don't want to take up all your day. I know you're a busy dude. Okay, here it is. It's going to be a Festool question. If I know you have a few Festool, but if I could take everything away except for one Festool, what would you keep?
It's a toss up between the track saw and the domino.
Ah,
So ultimately, the domino just opens up a lot of different, like makes certain joinery things easier. And I'm no joinery expert, so having that domino sure does make life easy. So I might have to go
mm,
with the domino because
mm.
I survived for a while with a clamp and a circular saw. So I could do that again.
That's funny. Yeah. Oh,
So what would
yeah.
your choice be if you could only have one?
Oh, you're the first person on Shop Talk to ask me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, it would be the track saw. You could take
Oh
everything
really?
else away from me, just don't take my
Yeah.
track saw. I have.
75?
Nope, 55.
Oh
And
really?
nowadays, the new TS 55 cordless because of the 1.8 millimeter. But
Uh-huh.
we have the new one, the new corded one with the 1.8 millimeter. But there's just something about that cordless where I don't have to cord anymore. I still
Yep.
hook it up with my Bluetooth dust extraction. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But it's until the future, you never know. Oh
So
my God,
I got another question for you then.
okay.
Why the
So hot.
55 over the 75?
I could do everything, just about everything with the 55.
Uh-huh. Well, that's why I
Okay.
got the 55 is I
hmm
could do pretty much everything and it's cheaper, of course.
That's an that is. That's a great question because I can do almost everything. The only, oh, and I have a 75 at home as well. I have a
Uh-huh.
55, 75 at home. The reason I have a 75 is for miter joints, for slabs,
Yep.
to do waterfalls. That's why
Yep.
I have it.
I,
And
I
yeah, that's why.
yeah, I would think that's like the main reason that you need that bigger blade. Otherwise, the 55 can handle pretty much anything.
So I'll break this down in imperial. A lot of people have slabs that are inch and a half, inch and three quarter, and they think they need the 75 just to straight line rip them. I straight line rip with the cordless TSC 55 with that 1.8 millimeter, and I am so stoked every time I use it. It's like cutting butter with a hot knife. It's
Uh-huh.
unbelievable. Uh, it sounds funny. I work for Festool, but I still get giddy talking about it. I've been here 15 years. I still like am so like amazed, but So when somebody asks me, boy, or tells me how expensive it is, I go, yeah, I do work for Festool, but it's worth every single penny. Once you start using it, and I tell people, don't believe it, just return it in 30 days if you don't like it. And
Uh-huh.
then they usually come up to me and slug me and go, I can't believe you said that because now I buy in more.
Yep,
You
we've got a
know?
we've got a local store around here that'll let you like, oh, just take it and try it out, and if you want it, then you can buy it. And they know that if you take it and try it out, you're gonna eventually keep it.
Yeah,
That's what
for
I
sure.
mean. You can't go wrong.
No, it's worth it.
Yep.
I didn't mean to turn this into a Festool fest, but it's kind of cool we were talking about it. So,
Sure.
any other question? Was there any questions I should have asked you?
Um, Not that I can
No,
think of.
you're the first person to ask me what I could live without. That you're the first person. But you know Doc Wright from the Right Edge.
Yep.
Okay, he asked me a question once, and I was like, it was about I think a back order status on a 70. And he goes, I had to ask that for my friend to put you on. And I answered him in a really like corporate, elegant way. And I go, how did I do? He goes, man, that was real corporate. I go, thank you very much. Thank you
That's
very much.
awesome.
I can dance around all kinds of sensible topics. I'm just kidding. It's weird. Okay, so it's just so funny. Sometimes I'm thinking, we'll talk for 15, 20 minutes. I looked up, man, we've been going a while. Hey,
Hey, it's easy.
thank you. It is. It is so easy.
I, I got
I just want to
I
say,
got
go ahead.
I got one more question for you before you go.
Okay.
It's a personal one though. What's your
Okay,
next
shoot.
museum? What's the next museum you're gonna go to?
Oh. You like museums too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
What's the last one you went to?
So I just went to the Picasso Museum when I was in Spain. After I left Austin, I went home for like 3 or 4 days, and then I went to Spain for a week with my wife.
You went to the Picasso Museum?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
It
Where
was
where
amazing.
where where in Spain is that?
In Barcelona.
Wow.
Yep. To be
Okay,
honest, I didn't
so
even know it was there. And we were walking around, and somebody mentioned it, and we were like, "Where is that?" And so we went, and it was pretty amazing.
did you take the whole family?
Nope, just the wife and I.
Okay. That's the reason I'm
Yep.
asking is um, we talked in Austin, right, about museums.
Yep.
Okay, I'm a museum fanatic. I can go in day after day to one museum just so I can absorb everything, right?
There's a lot
And
to absorb.
yeah, and it's tough sometimes. I like to revisit them sometimes. My next museum is going to be the one I've been to the Field Museum in Chicago, but I think it's the Science and Industry Museum there in Chicago.
Okay.
I really want to go to that. And the reason I said, "Who did you take?" I in in the old days, if I went with a girlfriend, now my wife, I I don't think they're into museums as much. um, By the way, I had that feeling with my grandson when I took him to Cape Canaveral.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think he was listening. And then we were out on Cocoa Beach.
Yep.
And that day he was asking me questions. He was reading as much as I was.
So he did take
So,
it in, just like you were saying with the kids in the shop. They'll take it in. You don't
absolutely.
even know it.
So, my favorite museum story, and I'll just say it now. I keep going on and on. I'm so sorry.
No, no,
I
no.
was I was I was with a bunch of people, and we went to, and my wife came to Germany with me, and they said, "Oh, bring Marianne," and we went to the Mercedes-Benz Museum
Oh, that's gotta be a
in
cool one.
it's Stuttgart. You start at the top, and you just walk down around into the different rooms. It's
Uh-huh.
probably the one of the best laid out museums I've ever been into. So we were there 4 hours, and we're all there having a half of ice in afterwards downstairs. And someone said, "Where's Marianne?" She was still in the museum.
Oh yeah.
She
She found
loved
one she
it.
liked.
Yeah, exactly. So this museum in Barcelona was the Pablo Picasso Museum.
Yep. Yeah, it was awesome. You kind of like
Oh,
walk in and they kind of take you through like his beginnings and where he got started and the different things all the way up through the oil paintings that he was doing at the end. It's really impressive.
yeah, he's one of my favorite artists. My favorite is Van Gogh, but my God, that's amazing. That's
And the
amazing.
amazing thing is he was doing some of that stuff when he was 13, 14 years old.
No kidding, huh?
Yep. Yep.
No kidding. I think it's at MoMA is Starry Night, and that's on my bucket list to go see the Vincent Van Gogh there.
Oh,
But
that
I
would
think
be really
that's
cool.
yeah. I've always wanted to go there. I believe MoMA is Metropolitan Museum of Art. I think
Okay.
that's what that is. Yeah,
I was gonna ask.
yeah. It's in the city, so I want to go
Yep.
there. Last time I was in the city, I had to go to knock it off my bucket list because I've been to New York City a few times. I needed to
Uh-huh.
go to I needed to go to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, yep.
That
Yep.
oh, it's amazing. It's
I'll tell
amazing.
you, if you're ever in the city again and want to go to something, it's really emotional. But the World Trade Center Museum is that's
Yeah,
it's a spectacle to see. It's quite emotional, but it's really cool to see if you're ever able to see it.
yeah. I do want to go. I just saw so many great snippets from there that I go,
Uh
oh
huh.
yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go there.
Yeah,
I
just bring your
just love.
tissues.
Yeah, I have seen a few things where I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna break down right here.
Oh yeah.
I've been to the site for a
Okay.
few minutes on a. We were driving by. I go, guys, can you just stop? I want to just be there for a few minutes.
Sure.
Wow, it's unbelievable. It really is. It's yeah. I don't want to get too emotional on it, but
Yep.
I think everybody should really go there just to
Yeah.
see,
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's very
for sure.
powerful. Very
It is
powerful.
fair. Yeah, it's a good word, powerful.
Yep.
Okay, we gotta keep talking.
Yeah.
We could talk 2 or 3 hours on museums.
Oh, easy. Oh yeah.
Oh, too cool. I am so
Yep.
glad that you took time to chat with us today, my friend.
Oh, I'm so
Um,
happy to be here.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just gonna wrap it up and say, have a great summer and keep on hitting the woodworking, brother. You're a rock star.
Will
So
do.
we'll talk
Thanks,
to you.
Sedge.
You betcha anytime, brother. Thank you
Appreciate it.
so
Thanks for
much.
having me.
You betcha.